Good day to you, family. Listen, we are back with Legacy Talk session number 3. In this session, we're going to hear a little bit more from our aunts and our uncles about what it was like to grow up in the Hayes household. And also, you don't want to miss Aunt Nadine setting the record straight about the property at 620 Garden Street, better known as The Hill. Then we hear from the younger generation. We hear from Natasha, we hear from Cynthia, we hear from Latonia, we hear from Meagan, we hear from Shun about what the Hill means to them. And then we also hear a little bit more from Josh Hayes as we wrap up the session. Listen, just like I always say, check it out. It'll bless you.
Now we want to move into another segment. We want to kind of get back to where it all started at. Initially, my family, they all lived in Fulton, Arkansas, a place called the Crossroads. And somewhere approximately between 1962 and 1963, my grandparents decided to come to Texarkana. But when they first moved to Texarkana, they moved to a place called Grandview over on the Texas side. And they were over there, they say, approximately about 2 years before they crossed the state line and came into Arkansas. But when they came into Arkansas, they moved over on Garden Street. And Garden Street is what you've heard referred to many times today as the Hill. So as we begin to talk about that, I want you guys to elaborate on what the Hill is and what that property and the home and everything means. But that's where everything really started at, especially for his grandchildren. So which one of you guys want to take the floor first?
When you made me walk through that graveyard that night to the house, when you was up there with that girl, nigga made me walk to the house by myself through a graveyard because he didn't want to leave some alone. Nappy head.
So, okay, let me say this. The first home that you guys lived in with your parents on Garden, what was that home like? Was the address the same? What was that home like? What was it like living there before the new home was built that stands presently?
Well, it was crowded. I think it was what? 2 bedrooms. Yeah.
2 bedrooms. So it was 11 of y'all in a 2 bedroom.
Little kitchen and a little living room. You know, it was kind of crowded. We made it. It was all right. It'd be better if you had the other one built. Sometimes you got to sleep on top of one another, but
You said it was definitely one.
Well, it was y'all's parents and then the kids. Well, I think Nadine, they said, lived with Aunt Jessie Lee over on the other side of the track. Is what I was told.
And if you got to think about all the others, I can call them with us.
Well, yeah.
We had friends.
So it was more than 11.
Yeah, we
Okay.
had friends. They come in and stay too like they was at home.
Okay.
Tom work. Tom work about like I brother, but he stayed there for us.
Right. So eventually after that first home, there was only a 2 bedroom. Y'all had that new house built and tore down our old house, right? Yes. Okay. So the new house is the house that we were all accustomed to being in and growing up in. That's still there right now. Yeah. You know, and so y'all just talk a little bit about it.
Let me get the record straight about that house now.
That was y'all saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
I said, let me get the record straight about that house now.
That wasn't the initial
I
house.
bought that old house. I bought and paid for it.
Okay.
We got it paid for.
Oh, we got that on camera, Nadine.
We had to pay the toe down and had that other house built.
show your rights, sis. Tell them about it.
Then when mom and dad passed, I was working at Tyson, I finished paying it off. So that's why I said that's my house, because I was going to
That is your house. Right. That's why I said tell them about it.
Go ahead then, Nadine. Go ahead. Nadine said, just so y'all know.
My house, when we got it paid for, we tore it down and had that house built. Yeah. When they passed away, then I finished paying for the old house. I mean the one we in now, so that's why I said it's my house.
So you say, so y'all hear Auntie, you know what she means? She said, I started out running things and I'm still running things. No, I'm just joking.
Real quick. So I said I was going to ask some people to just share with us what the Hill meant to them. So now we'll let some of this is not the young people segment just yet, but I'm going to go to a few people. I started with Jeff. Tasha, my camera's right on you, so I got to ask you, what does the hill mean to you?
For me, the hill was a place of togetherness growing up. You know, it was kind of like I would say the spirit of the hill. It was a place where everybody knew they were welcome. We could all go there as kids. If you needed somewhere to sleep, you could go on the hill. If you needed food, you could go on the hill. As a kid, you knew you was gonna have a gift from Aunt Nadine if you went on the hill. Yep. At Thanksgiving, you could go and get together. Everybody was gonna meet on the hill. Kids could be kids. We could run outside all day, hang out in the house at night. If somebody cooked, they made sure it was enough for everybody. The hill was just that family place. So I think it was passed down from grandma and grandpa to them, you know, to where they always let everybody know. If you ain't got nowhere to go, you can come here. Aunt Nadine would fuss sometimes, but we know she did it in love. Right. She wanted us there. She enjoyed us being there. So growing up, that's just my memory of everybody knowing they were welcome on the hill. The reason I say everybody knew because we all went. You know, so that's what it was for me, a place of family and togetherness.
Wow, that's awesome.
Piled up in the house and she get off work and she come there and the first thing she do is throw them hands on that hip and I'm done it. What all y'all doing sitting up here? I've been at work all day and all y'all doing is sitting around. But we love it. We enjoyed it.
Okay, so, all right, Meagan. You are definitely considered the younger generation, right? But nonetheless, 620 Garden Street is still standing strong, right? So talk to us about what the hill means to you.
Just growing up, like with my mom, she hardly ever missed work. So if my brother and one of us were sick, she'd drop us off with Uncle Lane. And we'd sit in that den.
That's that guy sitting right by her, y'all, right there.
Watching soap operas. Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless. And I'm 25 years old and the house still looked the same as it did when I was a little girl. And it's just like every time I go in, I get this nostalgic feeling. You can still feel the love just like I did when I was a little girl.
That's what I'm talking about.
Not only my Aunt Nadine and Uncle Lane's house, but my papa and grandma's house. We've actually lived with them a couple of times when my mom was going through things and we needed somewhere to live. We actually stayed with my grandma and my papa before, but they've always been there for my mom and they're still here for me. And me and my daughter.
Getting emotional now, Meg. Getting emotional.
Me and my daughter, we still go by and check up on them. And if we don't go by, and Nadine gonna be calling my phone asking where we at. So they've just always been there for my mom, and they're still here for me.
Wow. Yes. That's awesome.
I'm just gonna say that 620 Garden Street was also home to me at one time in my earlier years, age of 19. I did live there, sleep. I think I probably shared a room with my dad a couple of times.
Right.
But just thinking back, I can also remember the only memory I have of my grandmother was once I remember walking down the hallway. She had her apron tied around her waist, and I was able to hold her hand walking down the hallway. Wow. And that's the only memory I have of her. And I hate that, but I'll always remember it. I love that. And just, like everybody else said, 620 Garden Street was the place, It was home for a lot of us. A lot of my brothers, they went there, had a lot of headaches, caused a lot of headaches during the time, but it was still home. It was always made to feel that way.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to say about it.
Okay. That's beautiful. All right, Miss Cynthia, tell us what the hill means to you.
The hill means a whole lot to me. Everything. I got emotional just sitting here listening to talk about how Sharon and Meagan was saying how our grandparents, made sure you shared and different kind of stuff like that. And I can remember that. I can even remember in the storms. The storms would come, and I would be so scared, and I would be on the couch, and I forget who fixed me the bowl of cereal, but Aunt Nadine would always say, don't be scared of the storm, you know, this and that. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. And, you know, you just trust in God, believe in God, and I sit there, I eat my cereal so fast. And when the storm is gone, I be smiling, I be like, Lord, thank you. And it reminded me, because one day, I'm grown, the age that I am now, and I ran to her house in the storm. And I was sitting on the couch, and she told me the same thing. She said, don't be scared. You know, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. You know, you just might as well, you know. And just like the sharing that they all shared and stuff like that, you know, it's so real. You could just tell just through the bloodline, the sharing, going to Uncle OC's, Lord. Them feeding the kids, going to Aunt Nadine, they making sure we eat and different kind of stuff like that. And it was just the love and, man, I mean, it was just awesome, you know, just the way that they treated us. And so many people, even here in town, they look at us and we have different functions and stuff, and they say, y'all are unique people. We never seen a family that could get together like that and have big functions and, you know, do the things that y'all do, and it just seems so fun. But it is very heart feeling. It's real, you know, and I thank God for our aunts and uncles and, you know, just to heal, you know, just God created a place, you know, for, you know, us young folks, and then we all grown and running around here trying to take care of our parents and stuff, and we know what they taught us, and I'm just thankful for that. With the Hayes family.
So is it fair to say this, and I'm still recording, I'm not in frame, but is it fair to say that we kind of had a family reunion at Nadine's house every weekend? Back in the day?
Back in those days?
All the time? Because it was kind of the same stuff, everybody hanging out together.
That was like the bus station.
Yeah.
For us. We all gathered up there.
Yeah.
We knew we was gonna eat, we was gonna dance.
Yeah.
We was gonna do everything together, and I mean, they just kept us together. You know, just togetherness, and that, you know, that's what family is all about.
Brother Shun, talk to us about what the Hill means to you.
Well, just like London was just saying, you know, man, there's a lot of love, you know, togetherness. I will say, when I first went to the Hill, when I first left home with the Hill, I ran off because she was gonna whoop me.
Wait, he talking about that woman right there.
We was what's that house up there behind Steptoe? I went out. Matter of fact, I went down to the well. Came down to the well to get some water. Now I'm not gonna see them to get some water, so I had the bucket and stuff. I stayed down there too long. Somebody came down. Hey, your mama said, "Come on home. She's gonna whoop your tail when you get there." I rode that bike. I passed by that road and threw the jug over. The jug over the field and kept on to the hill. I got to the hill.
Never brought the water home.
Never brought the water home. I got to the hill. They were surprised. They said, "Boy, what you doing up here?" Because they knew how she was. What you doing up here, boy? You got? I said, I ran away. She gonna whoop me, so I said, I wasn't going back. He said, "Well, you better get your boy back to that house. You know your mom would." She never did whoop me. I eventually went back, but I guess she, you know, it kind of wore off and she forgot about it. But you know, it was always welcoming. You know, on a serious tip, it was always, you know, they always welcome. You know, and I even started. You know, well, I was in school already, but you know. One thing they would let us know up there, if you ain't gonna go to school,
You ain't gonna be here.
them school hours, you ain't gonna be in the house.
Until school was out.
You ain't gonna be in the house. But you know, it was always, you know, positive, you know, good experience, man. And you know, I wouldn't change nothing. I wouldn't change nothing about it.
Well, as we get ready to close this segment of it out, I want to start by saying I appreciate everybody for coming. All of my aunties, uncles, cousins, everybody for being here and for your participation, your willingness to participate in this segment right here, because this means a lot. Because in what we're endeavoring to do, like he said, is to cement and memorialize our family history, what family means, because we know and understand that all of our time is coming, and you guys are in your older ages, and we hope and pray God keep you around a lot longer. But we know what the inevitable is. But when that inevitable comes, because we've taken the initiative to do what we're doing today, we have something that we can hold on to, that we can look back on, that we can refer back to. Even after I'm long and gone, my kids, great-grandkids will have something to look at and aspire toward. And like I said, he talked about legacy. We've been talking about legacy, and part of my vision is to not only reflect on the legacy from the past, but to create legacy. And so it's not just about what was done then, but what we're going to do going forward for the next generation. So we've got to be willing to put the work in. And these last 3 years is just the beginning of what the vision entails. So I just hope and pray that as we continue to move forward with the reunions, and not just the reunions, but other gatherings and things that we'll put together, that everybody will be willing to participate. You know, get a hold of your children, get a hold of your grandchildren, try to pull them in, you know, and help, so they can be a part of this, and we can just aspire to be great together, you know, as a family. And so that's what it's all about. And so thank you all once again for coming out and for your participation, man. It's been beautiful. So,
Well, listen, this wraps up our first annual session for Legacy Talk. Give it up for yourselves, guys. Give it up for yourselves, people. That was good.